But without further ado, I want Amir to talk a little bit about himself. I can tell you firsthand, I met Amir about 5 years ago. You were doing these lunch and learns with a different company. What really impressed me about Amir is just he's such a leader. He's such a leader in the sense that not just being a dynamic speaker, but he really wants to improve other people's lives. And he really challenged real estate agents and mortgage lenders to really be fearless and to strive for excellence and to keep working and not to just be the typical agent or the typical mortgage lender that just kind of coasts through life waiting for referrals to come their way. Amir has a really unique story. And Amir, if you'd be so kind just to share with us kind of your story, how you came to this country, your first job, what kind of drives you. And so if somebody asked you, who is Amir Syed, what would you say? Amir, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Just a quick housekeeping. I just want to make sure I don't run over. How much time do you think I have, Steve?
You've got 30 minutes or 45, whatever you want.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll tell you this, Clint and Janet, I'm very happy to be here. Just as you get to know me, you might think back and be like, wow, I can't believe he his approach is that way. I actually don't like big groups. I do a lot better in intimate groups. So I'm actually happy it's only, us. I know a lot of us sometimes think like more quantity. I'm a very mile deep, like inch wide type guy. So I'm just very happy. I like fireplace chats. I like a small group setting. I can dominate a room of 5, 10,000 people on stage, but I just feel a lot of that stuff is too fluffy, right? I get it's dynamic, but I love this. I'm so happy to be with you guys. And it really speaks to a lot of what I'm going to just share with you guys and give you some knowledge transfer where I find abundance, being able to help other people, right? It speaks to like what I do every day and every week is I am a recruiter of people, okay? So I'll give you guys my, in about a moment, but everything I do is I recruit people. And I'm going to come back to that because that's going to help your guys' career. So I immigrated here at the age of 5 from Iran. My mom and dad left. My entire family's still there. Literally, it's just my mom and dad that came here. I was the only child for 12 years. My sister was born 12 years after I was born. My mom couldn't get a job at McDonald's. My dad was a shoe salesman in Golf Mill Mall, up north, making $3.75 an hour minimum wage back in the 80s, fighting for time amongst high school kids. So that is a true, like, rags to riches, story. Now, I'm kind of skipping middle chapters to the end chapter here, right? But things are great. My dad is a multi-millionaire, successful, self-made guy. He had a car dealership in Wrigleyville. People from around the Midwest would come to him. I grew up in the car business, so I would go every Saturday, and my dad would take me by my ear, put me in the car at 8 a.m. Saturdays, I would go work all day at his dealership by Wrigley Field. Every summer, he's like, dude, you got to work. So Monday morning through Saturday, I was at the car dealership. I was a porter at first. I was washing cars. Then I learned how to detail cars, buff cars, do all that. Then I was basically a porter where every morning I'd come in and I'd start all the cars, make sure all the check engine lights were on. It was a pre-driven, used car vehicle. Make sure everything was spaced out. All the rows were perfectly aligned, made it presentable. In the winter, I would shovel all the snow. I was doing all those things, right? Then I grew and grew. I was able to run credit reports for people that would come into the dealership that were looking for financing. So I learned how to read credit at the age of about 13, 14. Then I was an apprentice salesperson. I shadowed all the salespeople. I would go on test drives with people. Then I learned how to sell. So I had a second school. I was very fortunate to have a small business that was my ancillary school outside of regular school. So I always joke that I literally had a 1.7 GPA in high school. My senior year, I was in all freshman classes. I just did not do well in school. I think the teaching style just didn't fit me. My sister, London School of Economics, master's degree, 36 on her ACT, like crazy book smart, right? Like 2 kids, 2 different generations from the same parents. We bulked out, turned out really well. My sister is the head of digital marketing for the New York Times. She's 29, 30 years old. She was in a startup in San Francisco for years. She's really not street smart at all, but she's really good there. So we bounce things off each other. So where I'm going with this is I learned sales at a very young age because of the small business I was plugged into, okay? I learned in Chicago especially that it's such a diverse city. I learned how to communicate with different ethnicities and how they wanted to be communicated to, right? And I learned how to be comfortable with money at a young age. It wasn't intimidating to me when I became older, right? And so how I got that 4.0 GPA was working, in sales. The number one skill I believe to create wealth is sales. I can't express that enough. When you think about everything, Steve Jobs was not only a great innovator, but he was a great salesperson. Elon Musk is a great salesperson. The best real estate agents I know, they don't have the best ability. They just have great exposure, and they know how to connect with people, right? So guys, what I would say is this, is like, when I got into the business, I dropped out of college. I was basically a high school dropout. I got into college. My first job was telemarketing. I would literally cold call people every day. I would literally get a phone book, cold call them, and I learned how to sell without any body language. And I would get people's social security number at the end, right? To see if I can refinance their mortgage. Where am I going with this, and how does this pertain to you? What I learned in sales is that in every single dynamic, either the tension is high and the trust is low. It's our job to bring the tension down and the trust level higher. And how we do that in sales is based on skill sets, right? So during our next, 15 minutes or so, I get called now. Like, it's crazy. I'm getting flown out to North Carolina. They're paying me 10 grand to speak in front of like 100 agents, and I always joke around. I'm like, this information that I give people, it's accessible anywhere. However, I think where people flock to me is that I keep it so stupid simple that are like, wow, if this guy can do it from Iran and he's basically a high school dropout and he makes things so simply for me, like, I can do it. Literally, I am the poster child for like, you don't need to be educated, okay? So I have the agenda that, Steve gave me. Let me pull this up. And I'm so grateful because, Steve, you're such a good leader. You bring in an outside voice. Like, you're bringing me in. You probably say a lot of the same things, but now it's an outside perspective. That takes a lot of confidence for a leader to be able to do that. That in itself speaks to how much Steve cares about you guys, right? And so, guys, what I'll say is this, like, my entire success has been the amount of people I know and how I stay in front of them and how they know what I do for a living. I don't overcomplicate it. So if you're taking notes, I literally want you to like live your life all of this. Your visibility is greater than your ability. I'm not the greatest mortgage loan officer in the world. Like, I have friends that I call for like, how do I do this loan? How do I structure this? But I do 20 times more business than them. I make 20 times more than them, right? Because I just have a bigger following. So visibility is greater than ability. People are not picking real estate agents unless they're in a very specific price point for the most part, based on their ability as a realtor. They're picking it based on what, guys? What do you think? If you had to guess, Clay, what do you think?
Who's in front of them sort of at the time when they're looking. So availability.
That's exactly right. So it's visibility. Availability is greater than ability, right? They want to know, like, who's the first person that comes to mind, and do I trust this person? Yeah, we hear know, like, and trust. Guys, you do not trust anybody if you don't know and like them. First of all, it's impossible to trust somebody if you don't know them. You know of people, but you can't trust anyone unless you actually know them. I don't just trust some fictitious person, right? I got to know them. I don't know anybody that I trust that I don't like. Like, I can like you, Clay, right? It doesn't mean I trust you. I can dislike you, but I can respect you. But the key is this, guys. You got to be seen, known, liked, trusted. And I'll put another one after that. It's flow. I live my life off that. I have to be seen everywhere before people actually know me. Then I know them. Then I'm like, I hope they like me. I'm a pretty likable guy. I work with a humble spirit. Like, I'm a pretty curious guy. Like I don't imagine them not liking me. I don't like in the first meeting talk about like, oh, I love Trump and I love Biden. I stay away from RPM, religious politics and money, right? If I just do that, I know like I'm not going to, poke the bear, right? So guys, then I become liked, and then the trust barrier is where I cross. And I will talk very tactically about that because I don't want you guys to come off this call a lot of things I don't like about like public speakers or like sales coaching is they give a lot of platitudes. They get you really high on a sugar rush. And then you come off, you're like, all right, what do I do? I'm going to give you some nuts and bolts, guys, that will help you change your career, right? So guys, visibility over ability. I will talk to you about tactically how to do that. I will talk to you about how you're able to break the trust barrier very easily. And then exactly if you guys can follow this the next 6 to 12 months, you will come out of this storm and you will literally hug yourself from some of the work that you did through this storm, because you'll make more money than most of your competition. And I'll tell you how a top producer like Steve and I can speak for Steve because he's a top producer. I've been through 3 storms. Okay. So I'm battle tested. I'm like that oak tree in the middle of the forest in the field with deep roots, where I've had 150-mile-per-hour winds come through and I'm still around. I'm battle tested. And I'll tell you how I got through these storms and how on the other end, I was able to become a multimillionaire by the age of 30. The credibility is there. Like I say that to inspire you, like not to brag. I don't need anyone to like me for how much money I have. I came out of every market thinking, oh my gosh, I did all the work during that market. I just got massive market share because everybody was so paralyzed by fear. Okay. So I would leave you with a lot of optimism that this is an incredible market. Okay. And what you have to do to get through that. So guys, if I cover those 3 areas, would that be helpful?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. And just interject as I go through this, right? So guys, let me get some of the basic, like very important housekeeping stuffs out the way. So mortgage rates, right? That's a big hot topic. Right now, it's a staring contest. And I encourage you guys to just connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, just Amir Syed. I'll follow and connect with you back. That's the new way. I put out power content every day that drives the realtor and the professional real estate person's agenda based on data and facts, not feelings and drama, right? So you guys will get great content. You guys can repurpose that content, put it in your own words, get it out there, right? So rates. We went from 4.5 in 2019, then to like 2.5 through the pandemic, and now we're at like 7.5. Guys, you don't need to be an MIT grad or Nobel like economist to understand like that's all artificial, right? Like they can't go like this and then like this and then like this and then like this. It's just that's something's controlling that, and that's the Fed. What's going to happen these next 6 months? No one can really see past that. It is going to be very difficult because you have a lot of sellers. Unemployment's low. They can make their mortgage payments. This is the laptop lifestyle. And if they don't like where their employer is, they move somewhere else, right? They buy a home and they can work anywhere now. It's the remote lifestyle. So their cost of living, people are controlling it. They got home loans at 2.5%, 3%, and they got employment. They can pay their bills at a very low amount. They don't want to sell. It's a staring contest between sellers and buyers. Sellers are like, why would I sell? I can pay my payment. It's really low. If I sell, where am I going to go? Right? I might even rent my place out. Then you got buyers that really want to buy because their landlords are squeezing them. Rents have gone up. Guys, I own 100 units, right? I have a monthly call with my management company. We just did a projection. All my rents are going up about 10, 15% next year because my property taxes are going up, right? And I know that renters that could afford a home loan at like 4 or 5%, they don't want to see what happens. So they're going to probably renew their lease, and I'm going to get more rent. That's what's happening right now. So you have this staring contest. So guys, rates will come down. And when they do, I project, and my projection, guys, is based on data, okay? And very influential people that I'm around. I believe that mid-2023, these rates will come back down to upper 4, lower 5. And then the media will get a hold of it. Everyone will get excited again. And it's going to boom like crazy. A healthy boom. You understand? 2.5 is not a healthy boom. That's just crazy, right? 7.5 is too stringent. 5.5 is a good mortgage rate, And people are like, as long as I get in the 5s, I'm going to go out there. So guys, there's a lot of good news ahead. Okay, there's a lot of good news ahead. And if you connect with me on Facebook, I'm bringing the #1 authority when it comes to housing economics on a national call for 60 minutes. His name is Barry. Connect with me. You guys can register. You will learn factually. So when you're in front of clients, you'll get 2 or 3 nuggets. So you'll be like, your clients will be like, damn, this guy is really knowledgeable, right? So long story short, we have to get a huge amount of people in our database. So when that tides change, going to 24, 2025, maybe late 2023, And now the market, the media gets a hold of it. There's a lot of optimism. People are calling you first because you were top of mind and you didn't hide during the storm. Okay. So that's what's happening currently in the future. Any questions on that at all? No?
Nope.
Okay, cool. I sometimes I don't want to have this feel like a monologue, so just like ask me, right? And I give a lot of like high level things there. So guys, how are you going to benefit from this? Okay. I want you guys, as you're taking notes, definitely remember this as long as you live. I am a recruiter of people. You have to always live your life that way. I am a recruiter. You guys are recruiters. You recruit friends, you recruit prospects, you recruit clients, you recruit gateway partners, people that can refer you. You guys are not real estate agents. I'm not a loan officer. To get transactions, you have to get people. Like, I don't know. This is the beauty with me, guys. I did terrible at algebra. I am like a stupid immigrant that came here that was not good at school, but that's where I accelerate. When people have these spreadsheets and they try to overcomplicate it, I walk in the room, I'm like, okay, 2 + 2 = 4. I'm a loan officer. I want more loans. Okay, X + Y = Z. Z is more loans. Z is more transactions. X is realtor, loan officer. What's Y? It's people. You know what I mean? I just gotta get a lot of people. If I get a lot of people and they just know what I do, there's a very high chance I'm gonna get more transactions. It's really funny actually, because when I say it, I'm like, gosh, that sounds so stupid simple. But I'm like, it works. You know? So guys, how do I do this? Right now, Steve mentioned the core training. I believe it's the #1 loan officer coaching company up until now. I launched a loan officer coaching company in January. We are literally every day on their heels, taking over. But I took a lot of those principles, and the biggest principles the core talked about was he or she who meets the most people wins, which is another way of what I just explained to you guys, right? Now, most people, when they hear me say that, they think, okay, I know the what. What's the how? Okay. So I'm challenging I'm not even challenging. They pay me, my students. I have 70 students in the loan officer world. They pay me to push them. We're doing a 90 for 90 challenge. I tell them all, dude, what are you guys doing all day? Like, your profession as a real estate agent or a loan officer, we're not busy right now. No one is busy. I don't care what anybody says. Okay. I'm still on pace to do 100 million in volume this year, all organic. I have time. My calendar is blocked. I tell them, I want you to meet 90 people. And then they ask me, who? Realtors, financial planners? I'm like, as long as they're not homeless, as long as they have a job, you're going to meet them. So let me get more tactical, right? They're like, okay, really? And I think you're going to make 90 friends, or you're going to deepen your friendships. So what am I telling them all to do that I would encourage you to do? I tell them, write down #1, your favorite charity organization, bookmark their page, go to all their events. Okay. People that are involved in charity are typically well-to-do people, either financially or mentally. I have never found any charity event where it has someone mentally broke or financially broke. People that are involved in charity are very abundant in either of those two areas. So you're around the right quality people. You go there, you make friends. Okay. 2, Rotary Club. 3, Chamber. Guys, like Arlington Heights, I am a huge fan of Arlington Heights. Like, for some of the things that you just mentioned, but like, I feel like that is an incredible community, like the downtown, like it is underrated right now. It is going to be rated where it needs to be over the next few years, especially with the Bears going there. Like, that is a great community for you guys. A lot of young families. I would bookmark the Arlington Heights Chamber of Commerce, literally bookmark it in your Google Chrome, the events page. And I would do everything in your power to go to those events. And I would write down in your notes, I will attend 3 events a month through the chamber. Okay. Like, I'm moving down to Coral Gables in Miami, right? I have a huge network in Chicago. I'm going to get both markets going. I'm already DMing the Coral Chambers Instagram account saying, like, when is the events? When can I come down? Like, I'm going to rub elbows with everyone down there. Okay. Business owners are typically not renting. They typically own. So I want to be the guy that's there every single week, knowing that I'm there for them. Okay. So we got charity, we got Rotary, we got Chamber. I think alumni is such an untapped. A lot of people went to college. There's a lot of people went to big schools. If you did, there is usually Chicago, the 3rd largest market, right? There's local alumni chapters. So guys, I would start with events, bookmark those, every single week know which events are there and just show up, okay? Now, what do we do at these events? Remember, we're a recruiter of people. I am the most interested person in any room. I'm never the most interesting person. And coincidentally, I become the most interesting person because I literally want to know what's going on. Like I'm talking to you, Clay and Janet. I'm already intrigued. I want to know, who are you guys? Like, where'd you grow up? Like, do you guys have families? Like, how did you end up in Arlington Heights? How did you meet Steve? Like, what were you doing before real estate? No one goes to college to become a realtor. Like, these are all things I want to know about you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, genuinely, I want to know, like, who are you? Like, what's your journey? Like, what do you guys do all day? Who do you meet with? Like, what are your passions? Like, that's 9 questions that I'm able to ask, and people feel that. So guys, when I go to these events, I'm just looking to meet people, right? And I ask very inquisitive questions in not a very like awkward way. I want to know literally, guys, how can I make this person more money? Can we make more money together? And do I even like this person? That is my litmus test when I go to events. I keep it stupid simple. I'm going to go around. I'm not looking at all to first make business. I just want to make friends. Do I like this person so far? Like, how's the conversation going? Oh man, I got to know about this person's business. Like, how can I make them money? Guys, what we think comes out in our body language and our facial expressions, whether you believe it or not. I walk in a room. This is, I hope this doesn't like freak you guys out, but being a master salesperson, a master ethical salesperson means that I've studied human beings, because that's all selling is. I've studied body language, and I don't judge anybody, but I can walk in a room and I'm like, just through people's facial expression, I'm like, this person's having a bad day or something's really seriously going wrong in their life, because they're just not smiling, or they're just pensive, and the energy coming off them. They did a study where they put 100 people in a room. This is Robert Cialdini from the book Persuasion, right? They put 2 people in the corner that were having a fake argument without any hand gesture. Fake argument, right? A tense conversation. The entire room felt it. And they were all engaged in their own conversation. They felt the energy and the body language coming off those 2 people. Pretty crazy, right? So when I walk in a room, my mind is already primed. I want to make friends. How can I make people money? Can we make money together? That just comes out of my energy and my spirit and my body language, and I attract people. Because the guys that walk in there that are coming in that just don't have that mindset, people can feel that, guys, whether you believe it or not. They're like, I don't want to be around this person. It's not a winner. Guys, people want to be around positive winners. And that starts with your mindset of starting to help other people. So guys, how do I prime myself? Is those 3 questions. Who am I going to make friends with today? Can I make these people money? And can we make some money together? And everything around me starts to attract people. Then I meet 3, 4, 5 people. I don't even have a business card, believe it or not. Because that, to me, it's setting myself up to be tacky, and it's setting myself up to be businessy. So when I have great conversation, right there and then, I'm like, hey, dude, are you on LinkedIn? Hey, dude, are you on Instagram? Hey, dude, are you on Facebook? Let's just connect right now. I pull out my phone, I pull out my phone, I'm like, boom, 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 we connect. And then the next day, I know how to follow up. So Clay and Janet, what are some questions I'm asking? Like, how long have you been involved with the chamber? How long have you been involved with this charity? Like, do you live in the area? Right? And like, Steve's actually really good at that, guys. Like when I, like I will tell you, like he is, I would say, top people. If I had to rail up, he's very good at that. Right? So you have someone on a day-to-day to help you with that. Okay. There's a reason why Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence Others, like is one of the all-time greatest books, is because it's so simple how to like literally get friends. So guys, what happens is this: when I meet these people, Clay and Janet, the next day, I connect with them on social, I follow up, and I schedule a 15, 30-minute Zoom call. What I say to them is, I really enjoyed meeting you yesterday. I want to connect you with people that can help you, or I just want to learn more about you and see how I can keep my eyes open for you for opportunities. Now, Steve recorded this. You guys, if that was too fast, he'll get you the recording. You can get that script, right? I'm a garçon or a waiter for everyone in my life. Always. And then I ask questions. And what I'll do, Steve, is I'll send you one of my playbooks. People are literally paying me $300 for this thing, but I'm going to send it to you guys. It's a one-sheeter of all the questions I've learned to ask people when I have a Zoom call with them. It's a guide. It's all yours, guys. Use it, right? So you'll see. I don't want to like waste our time. Like you'll see what's on there. Then what happens, Clay and Janet? Now they're in my sphere, right? So this 90 for 90. Okay, I will send you guys this 90 for 90 tracker as well. You are a recruiter of people. I go out and I meet a ton of people. I'm meeting 90 people in the next 90 days. As long as they're not homeless, right? And as long as they are like well-to-do people, like quality people, like I'm meeting with them. After that is done, they all know what I do for a living. You will see in my tracker how I ask for business at the end. So what I say is this. If I'm talking to you, Clay, I'm like, hey, I really enjoyed this. You know, I got one last question for you. And guys, I don't want you to get too technical with this, but this is how I plant seeds. I would be honored to be your go-to person when it comes to anything in real estate. Like right now, when like the topic of real estate comes up, who's your go-to? If someone in your network wants to like rent, buy, or sell, who should go to? Guys, I will tell you right now, you'll be shocked at the answers you hear. Most people will be like, majority of people, 80 to 85% of people are not going to have like someone top of mind. Realtors just suck at follow-up, man. You guys are literally the most dysfunctional industry I've ever coached. No offense. It is just mind-boggling to me how dysfunctional your industry is. It's funny. We can laugh about it because it's true, right? Like, you guys don't follow up. You guys don't like, I don't know. I have no idea why, but you're not going to be those people. You understand? Like, so guys, that's what I plan. Any questions on that so far? Or comments, concerns, thoughts on anything I just mentioned so far?
No, Amir, I mean, everything you're saying makes sense. And I think, one of my favorite quotes from Amir, and I just want to interject this here, and I think this is so true. I think every real estate agent goes into this career with the mindset, I want to be successful. And one of Amir's famous quotes that I've always remembered is, losers have goals, winners have systems.
Yeah.
And so Amir, you're providing an amazing system that normally you charge $300 for. And so again, I mean, that's a blessing. Thank you. I will take you out for dinner later. So it'll either have to be Little Rock, Arkansas, or out of Miami.
I'll be back. I come back every month.
Chicago. Yeah. We'll get you with that. But I think that's really the key, and that's the one thing. I mean, I as a dad who loves sports and a dad who coaches sports, I can tell you that every successful basketball team, football team, lacrosse team, it's all about systems. It doesn't matter what sport it is. You have to have systems and you have to have discipline. And I think that's the key. I think, Amir, when you say, why are realtors so bad at follow-up? I think we may be the most undisciplined industry. And it's a huge generalization because there's others, there's Lee Marcuses of the world who are knocking out 50 to 100 phone calls every morning before 12 noon, right? And then there's other agents who go, oh, what do I got going on today? I think I'm just going to go to the dry cleaners and I'll hit the grocery store and then I'll go into the office by 12, right? And that's the part-time real estate agent mentality. But Amir, thank you for that. Please continue. I just want to let you know you are heard and we are so focused. And I have a lot of questions right now.
Yeah, please. And I'll make sure I'll give a little runway here in a few minutes in case you guys do have specifics. So, I hope if anything made an impact on you guys so far is don't overcomplicate this business. The visibility versus ability. It's just you guys like gathering people, like literally recruiting people. Now, that I gave you guys some very specific examples. Now, people in your network, right? Like, I'm having a lot of Zoom meetings right now. Like yesterday, I DM'd 3 people. I have 5,000 people on Facebook, right? Like I've lived my life of just meeting a ton of people and bringing them into my web. So I have a huge captive audience, right? So I DM every single day a few people, and I'm like, dude, I haven't seen you in a long time. Like, would you be up to like having a 15-minute Zoom call to see what's going on with you? Or dude, what's your cell phone number? I haven't talked to you in such a long time. Just want to see how you're doing, right? And I gather my list and I call people and I just conversate. And again, it goes back to, do I like this person? How can I help this person? How can I help this person make more money? And can we help one another? I follow that. Now, listen, here's how we have to go through this, guys, as real estate agents, right? Steve made a great point. And I know that's something I said years ago that's really resonated with him. A lot of people have these goals. Like I spoke in front of 60 Compass agents 2 weeks ago, and I run around, I picked like a few people. I'm like, what's your goals? Everyone had their outcome. Nobody gave me their goal of this. If you ask me what my goals are, you will very rarely hear me talk about what my outcome is. Like I know what my outcome is, right? It's very simple, like how much volume I want to do in the next 5 years. Literally 99% of my time is if you ask me what my goals are, I'm like, meet 5 new people a week, have lunch with 5 new people every week, attend one event every single week. That's my goals. I stick to my systems. I'm like, okay, like people on their tombstones have the year they were born and the year they die. I'm focused on a little dash in the middle. What they do in between. People talk about like what they're going to do and what they want to do. I don't pay attention to any of that. I think about, okay, what are we going to do in between? And that's all we're going to focus on. So guys, 90 for 90, you're literally a recruiter of people. You're not a real estate agent, right? You're a recruiter. You're not a real estate, you're a real recruiter. Because at the end of the day, your success is going to be the amount of people that trust you, okay? So how do we basically do that? You have to commit. Man, this guy Amir really that said something that changed my entire life. I have the opportunity to make a lot of money if I just meet a lot of people. Okay, you talked about the little dash in between the start and the day. Every single week, I'm just going to double down on this. I'm going to keep a business boring. I'm going to commit to attending 1 event a week. I'm going to meet 5 new people a week. And I'm going to lunch 3 people a week without fail. And I know if I want the results, I need an accountability partner, right? Man, I'm scared. So write this down too. Do it scared. Do it scared because you have to be scared. And in order for you to get past the fear, people, all of us on this call, we are genuinely at our core ethical people. So what I do is like I would tell Steve, I want to follow the consistency bias. I'm going to commit to you that every week on Monday morning, I will send you an email and I will tell you if I went to 1 event, if I met 5 new people, and if I had lunch with 3 people, because now I can't like lie, right? So I'll give you an example of this. Years ago, I have a friend of mine. He does business with one of my top loan officers in my branch, Justin. See, this agent, real estate agent, he took a big liking to me, and he knows I kind of run the group. And he's like, Justin, do you mind if I just get coached by Amir a couple sessions? I'm like, dude, I'll coach you, but you got to send us business, right? Because it's this exchange. I go, but you'll literally make more money. He goes, no problem. He came and I go, what's the problem? Listen to what he said, Clay, Jan, and Steve. He goes, I've been stuck at 12 million the last 3 years. He goes, I really want to do 15 to 20 million. I go, okay, the dash. What's the 3 things? If you were coaching somebody else to do 15, 20 million, what do they need to do? And it was basically what I just shared with you. I said, dude, are you committed to doing that? He said, yes. I said, every Monday, you got to pay me and Justin our rent. I said, you got to literally send us a quick email or a group text message. I want 0 over 1. I'm sorry. I want 0 over 1 event, 0 over 3 break breads, 0 over 5 new people. It's simple. And you tell me how you ended the week last week. You got to pay your rent every Monday. Okay. Follow me so far? 52 weeks straight. Okay. And I said, I already know what's going to happen. I said, you're going to fizzle out after 4 weeks and I'm going to chase you down, but I'm not here to play games, dude. Bring your checkbook next time you come in my office. He goes, to my checkbook. I go, bring 1 check. Okay. He brought a check. I brought my check. Clay and Janet. He wrote a check payable to me with the date January 1st, 2016. This was 2015 January. I wrote a check January 1st, 2016, $5,000. To him, he wrote me a check for $5,000. We both took each other's checks, put it together, and put it in Justin's desk. If you don't hit 15 million, I cash your 5,000. If you hit 20 million, you cash my 5,000. He ended up doing 15,300,000. True story. His name is Mehdi Mova from Compass. I'll put him on recording. If you ever see him, ask him. He'll tell you. He goes, dude, I was literally going to finish at 12, 13 million, but the whole year I'm like, I got to do 15 million. He goes, you literally made me an extra 20 grand by doing this. So what I'm getting at, guys, is if you're really serious, you've exchanged your time with me. I've given you knowledge. Nothing happens until that knowledge is applied. Focus the rest of your life. I'm a recruiter of people. I will break down my goals in terms of the process of what I have to do every week. I will find an accountability partner to pay my rent. If you don't do that, I'm going to really be honest with you right now, because honesty saves time. You are just bullshitting. You're not really taking your career seriously. I don't know. I know a lot of people will tell you what you want to hear, but at the end of the day, there's an old proverb in the Bible, and I have faith, but I'm not an ultra religious guy. It's my second favorite quote of all times, guy. Wounds from a friend could be trusted, but an enemy multiplies kisses. If I'm really your friend, I will tell you something that might rub you the wrong way, but it's because I care about you. If you're really serious about your career and you want to get your outcome, this is literally the ingredients, the roadmap I just gave you from what to do, how to do it, and how to make sure you have accountability around it. Okay? Now, last thing I'll leave you guys with is this. We talked about how you're going to go out there and be known. You being likable. You guys seem like very likable people. It's the quality of your questions. It's the quality of your intrigue, right? It's the quality of your, curiosity. How you're able to be, you have to be seen before. Guys, I can't express this enough. Everybody's on social media. I have some friends that are not on Facebook, they're on Twitter. I have some friends that are like not on Facebook, they're on IG, but literally all of them are on some sort of platform. Every morning, you have to come in and you have to consume and create. Too many people in this country are consumers. They're not creators. It's mind-boggling how I come in every day and I'm like, I can't believe all these realtors I have. There's not one person every day on Facebook giving me education. As a realtor, like simple. Guys, every single morning I wake up, I have a few websites bookmarked that are real estate centric. And I'm reading. This is my career, dude. Like, this is what pays my bills. This is what's going to allow my wife and my daughter and my grandkids. Like, literally, I am my number one investment. Not crypto, not stock, not multifamily. And I'm like, holy cow, I make this much money a year. I'm a rocket ship. I'm my number one investment. In order for me to be able to give great output, I got to educate myself first. I got to let people know I'm really, really committed to this industry. I'm not a fly-by-night realtor. Okay? So what do I mean by this? Both of you guys, Clay and Janet, if you're really serious about this, you got to time block this. 30 to 60 minutes every morning. And you can label it whatever you want. You can call it the consume and create. You got to go to your thinking chair. You got to go to your car. You got to go to a special place in your environment where it's your creativity. You understand? You got to put yourself in that element, right? I won't get too deep into all that because there's some nuances around it, but a place where you're not actually working every day to solve problems. Because if you get in that environment, your mind is going to naturally think, solve problem. Go somewhere where it's creative, right? You can look out the window and see the trees. I ride the bike some mornings, right? But anyways, you got to go every day and you got to consume things that are real estate centric. Okay. I follow sites like The Real Deal, Inman News, right? Housing Wire. Guys, I can go on and on and on and on. Okay. And I gather one thing. Like, you'll see my content today. I'm like, how much more do homeowners have in wealth than renters? And I typed in powerful home buyer statistics. The first one was statistically from Forbes. Homeowners have a 1,400% higher net worth than renters. 1,400%. I'm like, holy cow, stat, right? What are the top financing options for homeowners? And I read all about that. It's my world. Put it together and I put it out. You follow me, Clay and Janet?
Yep.
So now I learned from myself. I consumed. I created. All the people in my network are like, dude, this guy is really serious about his craft. The day I'm going to think mortgage or real estate, I'm going to this guy. That's my TV channel. Twitter is my CNN. Facebook's sort of like my, I don't know, they call it Nickelodeon. TikTok's my this. I'm all across. You know what I'm saying? I'm Xfinity, and I'm on different channels for different types of mediums. And I post it every day. I don't miss a day.
Amir, just to interject, I think one of the things that really inspired me is I've seen in the last 30 days how you've really amped it up. And it's content, it is credible. And what would be your advice as far as the timing of all this? A lot of people say, you shouldn't post anything on social media until the afternoon. That's when you get the most traction. It seems to me that you do it first thing in the morning. Is that true? Would you say get it started like a business mindset, like get it out there at 8:30 in the morning, get it out there by 9 a.m. So that way when people are taking a break during their day, they see it, they read it, and then they call you with questions. Is that true?
Well, yes, that's a great point. Guys, I don't think I'd be here if Steve didn't see my content. I've been top of mind. Let's be very honest. Steve and I love each other. But let's be very honest. I've been top of mind for Steve. He's been seeing my content. He's like, dang, I got to get with Amir. And here I am. Now, who knows in my relationship with Clay and Janet, you go, isn't that crazy how life works? I'm literally a result of me being here is what I just preached the last 5 minutes, right? I'm top of mind for everybody. You follow me? So to answer Steve's question, I like the mornings because my mind is the most fresh and I have no distractions. Like it's the top of the morning. I can get up, I get my cup of coffee, I get a bottle of water, I sit down. It's the day has not hit me. My mind is the most fresh, right? What prevents people from doing this is they worry about what other people think. They worry about if it's going to be perfect or not, right? And they worry about like, when do I do it? Guys, I got to the point, I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I know I'm going to suck at first. It's my rite of passage, but like nobody cares. Like if I don't do a great job, no one's going to scold me. I'm going to just, if you see my content from January, I look at it, I cringe. I'm like, oh my God, I just typed an essay. But now I'm like, I got a lot better, you know, but I started. The powerful thing is a start. So guys, I'll answer Steve's question. I start every morning to consume and create and engage. Consume, create, engage. Most people are consumers, very few create, even fewer engage. So what do I mean by that? I post every morning by 8 a.m. At the beginning, post once a week, then twice a week, then 3 times a week. So don't put too much pressure on yourself. Say Monday's my posting day. It's all about getting started, right? Then you'll become a habit. You'll do it every single morning. Okay. Then I'll give you, I don't want to get too deep in the woods. I have content created for the next 2 weeks already ready to be published, you know? So check this out, but I didn't start that way. Every morning I consume, I learn, I get a Microsoft Word document. I'm like, what did I learn? How can I just kind of regurgitate this for people that can maybe find some value in this? Let me just type it out. How can I trim 30% of this? Maybe it doesn't look that good, but Amir said, just put it out there. I'll get better. Writing is a skill. Sales copy is a skill. You'll get better at it, right? Then I post it. I create it, check mark. Last thing I do is I engage. It's like a virtual networking room for me. I go through all my feeds on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. All people that come up, I'm hearting and commenting. Notice what I just said. I don't like. I heart and comment because I stand out. Now, if I don't like what someone's doing, I'm not an ingenuine guy. Like I don't understand this. I'm just going to keep going. Most of the time, I put myself in that person's shoes. I'm like, this is important for them. I like it. I heart and I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. Or I'll have a constructive conversation with them on something and I'll ask them questions. People will give you more engagement once you give them engagement. It's the old rule of thumb, dude. Give and then get. And now what's happening is my algorithm, everyone's like, Amir's the good guy. Like he contributed to me. I'm going to contribute to him. And then people see he's got 40 likes and then 40 turns to 80 and 120. And they're like, this is the guy I want to be around. So I'm offline a winner. I'm online a winner. So guys, consume, create, engage. Then you're off. Power hour, lunch, event, repeat. And if you can stay consistent to that, you'll make a lot of money.
Real quick, you said power hour. They may not know what that means. I'll try to describe it. Your idea of power hour, everybody has a different selling technique, whether it's or ninja selling. What's your power hour every day, Amir?
Yeah, I every day except Tuesdays right now, I have themes every day. So if I were a real estate agent, what I tell them is Mondays I would time block 1 hour. I would call all business people. I would do a C to B, consumer to business. I'm sorry, B to B, business to business. So what does that mean? Mondays, at first you're not going to have a lot of these people because you have to meet them at events, right? You fill the funnel. Realtors on Mondays should call financial planners and divorce attorneys, okay? And what I call circle of influencers, okay? I don't believe CPAs do a great job of referring. I don't believe a lot of attorneys do a great job, you know, but attorneys like estate planners and divorce attorneys, they're really good referral sources. So I would spend Mondays and call it power hour dash circle of influencers, because that's usually their office time. I'd call them and I can tell you what I do on those calls, maybe on another call. Tuesdays, I would have every realtor do status update calls. Anyone that's a buyer in process or a seller in process, they get your Tuesday update call. And it might not be good news, but the number one complaint people have is communication. So you tell them every Tuesday, like clockwork, I will update you on what's going on. Wednesdays is for realtors, that could be a wild card day. For years, I used Wednesday as my lead day. I would literally go through all the people that have expressed interest in buying a home or selling a home, for example, and I would just basically call them in the morning. And I like to do mornings. I like my power hour, like get it in, get it out. Thursdays is my favorite day. I'm looking at it right now. That's my power hour database day. I call close database. I call every client that closed the last 7 days, and I have a checklist of what I run through. And I basically I do a lot of database calls. I check into my database. Fridays for me is cold call day, right? That's my day to basically follow up. Who are the people I just met? Who hasn't returned my call? Who are some people that are on my LinkedIn or on Facebook that I just want to get through? Like, I'm blocking out all the distractions. I got 60 minutes to basically do some outreach to schedule some break breads the next week. That's the power hours. And then I'm off. I'm off to lunch at 1 o'clock every day, except Mondays. I'm off to lunch. So I'm filling up my lunches. Guys, I'm booked out till November 15th right now. I have no spot for lunch. Booked out. I'm coming back to Chicago. I'm booked out. So my power hours are to fill my break breads. My break breads, at the end of the day, I go to an event. The next day, I consume, create, engage, repeat.
I love it. Hey, Amir, you've been so great. Thank you for giving us quality time. Quality time,
guys.
Where can we find you? I know we can find you on social media. What's the best way? You got a website?
What I'll do, Steve, is I'll send you. I'll email you the things I just promised. The top 50 COI playbook. I'll give you guys my 90 for 90 tracker if you guys want to get on that, and I'll put in there how you guys can connect with me on social. And I hope to meet you guys in person, Clay and Jen. Was this helpful for you guys, Clay and Jen? Honestly, like, was this stuff like they're like, oh my God, this is great, or you're like, what happened?
Yeah, no, this was awesome for me. Sorry to jump in there, Janet, but yeah, this was incredible for me. I really feel like I've also just kind of like hit a wall as far as like, all right, my whole way of thinking was built around, all right, who in my circle or who in my sphere needs housing, or who is going to be on the market soon, who's currently renting that is going to be looking to buy. And like, I just was approaching it from like a needs base, and I didn't have anything in the tank because I was like, well, all my friends are either, been priced out because of the mortgage rates or whatever. Like, so, but now that to simplify it and to be about just people. So it's not even about, it being a situation of how can I necessarily help them in the next step. It's really just about just being in front of them and just being a genuine person and getting to know them a little bit. Right. And then like, if things happen organically from there, that's where you go. But yeah, I've really been feeling that lately.
I'm so happy you said that, because I'm like, I hope they don't miss the boat. We always think as professionals, like, who needs a home? Who needs a home? Dude, it's who needs a friend. The more friends, they will use you. So I'm so happy you said that, Clay. You hopefully have a big network. Dude, my wife knows, Steve, my like hidden aspiration is to become a realtor. Like I might do that one. Yeah, dude, I just feel like anywhere I go, like I went to the dry cleaners the other day. I'm like, if I was a realtor, I would get to know and be like, hey, like, I support your business. Will you consider supporting me? Like, do you guys want a home? Do you know any? Like, everybody needs my service as a realtor. Like, they need to rent, buy, or sell. I'm going to pick who I'm going to work with. Maybe the rental rate is not where I want to be. But as a mortgage lender, I can't have that conversation with everybody. Some people buy cash, they go to their bank. But literally, I'm like, realtors are literally is who has the most friends wins, and everybody needs friends.
Amir, I know a great company and a great team that you can join anytime. And we're expanding to Miami.
Let's go, baby.
States in Miami. Let's go.
Let's
Boca
go.
Raton, come. Coral Gables.
Let's go, baby.
I got you.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, man. So, I want you to book me for your next availability for dinner. I'd love to take you out when you come back to Chicago. If you have anything after November 15th, seriously.
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll send you a good email with everything in there, and then I'll put some dates in there. You let me know what works for you, man.
Let's go. Well, we're all
okay.
All right, guys. Any questions or any final comments to Amir? No. Here.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
man.
Hey, Steve, thank you. Jen and Clay, thank you for your time, guys. I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much, guys. Okay.
Thank you.
Likewise. Thank you, Amir. I'll be following you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, guys. My pleasure. Talk to you soon.
Amir Syed,
thank you again, Steve.
Okay.
See you, Steve. All right.
Bye.
Thanks, Steve.
You got it, guys.
Thank you.
See ya.